PROLOGUE, the Annunciation. It was a sunny but windy day, and Rose was excited about the mystic market she was attending. It was easy to convince Jerry to go. Rose just had to suggest to him to stay home, and she would go alone. It was funny how his mind worked. Normally, he would complain about the sun and the walking and the grass as the market was happening on a park and it had all the weird stuff Rose liked, but he wasn't interested at all. So it would seem hard to convince him, right? Nah. Thinking about it, Jerry doesn't have many interests of his own besides hanging out with his friends and having beer. He was a nice guy, although. Rose had a list of tents. She wanted to check it out, but her priority was the gypsy cart and the tarot readings. She was learning how to read the cards and oracles, but it was still hard for her to hear her intuition. For sure it was going to have a huge line there later in the day, so Rose went early in the morning and ran directly to the few people that had the same idea than her and were waiting for the fortune tellers to start working. It only took 30 minutes waiting and it was her turn. She got into the tent and saw 7 women attending. The tent was colorful and had bright veils all over the roof, tapestry and scented candles everywhere. The women were sitting in comfy chairs with round small tables in front of them and some puffs around for people to join them. The lady that attended Rose was the oldest of them. She seemed to be around her 50 years old, had long reddish-brown hair with curls coming out of the scarf tied around her head. Her eyes were bright green and her skin was tanned, suiting her beauty. As soon as Rose sat in front of her, the lady opened a wide smile and greeted her as a dear relative that wasn't seen in a while, making her feel warm and cozy in there. "My child, I am so happy you came today. I am Madam Cecilia and will take care of you," she said kindly. "Thanks, I appreciate it," Rose answered shyly. "Is it your first time reading cards, honey?" Madam Cecilia asked her while shuffling an old deck of cards, faded from so much use. "Not exactly. I always had curiosity about it, so I bought myself some oracles and started reading. But a professional one, it's the first time," Rose said. "She is being modest. She does it so much that she is almost a professional too," Jerry shouted from behind Rose, making her blush. Rose knew that he was trying to be nice and flatter her, but Rose didn't need that. In fact, she didn't want Madam to be offended by it since it was her job, and it certainly wasn't easy. At least Rose doesn't find it easy in her attempts and practices. Then something interesting happened. Madam stopped shuffling and slowly stared at Jerry, still smiling, apparently noticing his presence in there only when he spoke. "Is it a reading for the couple or just you, Rose?" Madam asked, alternating her gaze between her and Jerry. It is for me. I mean, it's probably going to say things about him too." "Do you want to participate, Jerry?" Rose asked, turning her head to him. "Oh no, go ahead," he answered, smiling and leaning on her chair to get comfortable. "I see. So it's a private reading. Don't you want to wait at the picnic tables outside where there is room for you to sit?" Madam Cecilia asked Jerry. "Oh no, I am fine here," Jerry replied nicely. Rose understood her and whispered, "Don't worry, Madam. I don't mind him watching." "That's because you don't know what I know yet," Madam whispered back to Rose, blinking with her left eye. "Claudia, come here, please," Madam Cecilia shouted, making the tiny girl in the entrance that allowed Rose to come in to leave her post and come running to her. "Yes, Madam! I am offering this gentleman a courtesy reading on the house. You can perform it. It will be good for your practices." And turning her head back to Jerry, Madame said, "How do you feel about a free reading, sir?" "Of course, why not? If it's for free," Jerry said, following Claudia to an empty table at the other side of the tent. "Thanks for your kindness," Rose said, slightly suspicious of her behavior. "Don't worry, it had to be done. Now give me your hands," Madam Cecilia asked Rose while putting away her cards. Rose showed her hands. No one had ever read her palms before, and she was curious. "I see? I felt an intuition of doing this to you. Don't worry, there are no extra charges. It's just my compromise with my gifts and higher forces," Madam Cecilia said, while analyzing both Rose's hands carefully. Rose nodded her head. She was feeling extra excited about it and at the same time, relaxed and comfortable. You love a man, not the one you brought here today. A real man, the one from your dreams, Madame Cecilia said, making Rose's heartbeat to raise and her face to blush. Don't worry, I am not judging you, child. This one you love. You know he loved you back, you felt that. And somehow, you just split apart. For what seemed to be no good reason at all. One day you are happy, the next it's all gone, right? Rose once more nodded her head. Well, he is coming back to you. You are soulmates, and there is always too many disturbances around this dynamics. There were people interfering and subjects to be solved, and your paths had to be apart for a while, so when you meet each other again, there is no chance of any of you two to ruin it. And the time of getting back together is coming. Do you understand that? Madame Cecilia was speaking kindly and low, and she was keeping eye contact with Rose all the time. Rose was feeling overwhelmed by her emotions, and noticed that it was the first time in a very long time that she felt like that. I know you are accustomed to this calm and lukewarm life, but is this really what you want? You've already experienced true love and been snatched by it, felt everything that a passionate love has to offer. Are you sure you want to settle for less? Again? Madame Cecilia asked. Rose felt a tear running through her face and pulled back her hand to wipe it. But Madame held the other hand tight with both hers and continued speaking affectionately to Rose, as you do with a small child. Listen, I know things were hard for you and you decided to do the best you could to be happy, or at least to be in peace. But you know there are better things to be lived, a life that suits you perfectly out there, and it is worthy to fight for. Deep down in your heart you know, you just aren't listening close enough. I want to be happy, but him, he despises me, Rose murmured. He loves you, Rose, and that's all you need to know. And you must know now, my dear, before it is too late. Rose then realized that Jerry and she were about to make it official and public that they are engaged and planning their wedding for the next summer. And as if Madame Cecilia could read her mind, she said, "You are a smart woman, Rose. Choose wisely." Rose nodded her head again and the timer beeped, as they only had 15 minutes of reading. Is there anything you want to ask me, child? You still have some time left, Madame Cecilia asked her. But Rose was so surprised about what was said that she couldn't think about anything else. I have lots of questions, but now I can't think of any, Rose exclaimed, and in an impulse, she asked for a hug from the lady, who promptly attended her. Thanks, madam. I will remember your words, Rose said. Of course, my dear. Now go. Your lady-in-waiting is coming back, Madame said, without looking back towards Jerry, and was indeed walking in their direction. Okay, ready to go? Jerry asked, and Rose nodded her head again, walking back to the lawn and the fair. Rose was overthinking about what Madame said and questioning herself about her feelings. It was too much, too risky, it made no sense, and she was fighting so hard to move forward. But her heart was so happy about the news that it was hard to ignore. Jerry was talkative as always, and she was just nodding her head in agreement, incapable of paying any attention to him, when suddenly an idea crossed her mind and made her stop walking. Is everything okay, Rose? Jerry asked her. Did I say my name in there? Rose asked. What? Did I, Rose, said my name, introduced myself or whatever to anyone, at any moment in the gypsy tent? Rose asked with an annoyed tone. I don't know. I don't think so. No, you didn't. Why? Jerry asked Rose. Madame Cecilia called me by my name. She just knew it.